Hey Clashers, with the start of the new season, so at the beginning of March, we are going to receive a reworked Silver and Gold Pass. Inside this Gold Pass now, you can unlock a new helper which can convert ores. So yes, you can convert ores from shiny to starry, for example. But let's start things off with actually explaining how this new Gold and Silver Pass works. Because not just the graphics have changed, which by the way look actually really cool in my opinion. So this entire the entire overview has completely changed, but as well how you can progress through the pass as free to play or as someone who's buying the Gold Pass. And this is going to come down to season task cards. What does this mean? Well, each day you're going to unlock one of those season task cards, which is having 7 tasks which you can complete. And if you're doing so, you're getting 40 bonus points. And those are the tasks, which is super generic. Everyone can do them, and you can do them just by normally playing the game. It is really super easy. If you're starting an upgrade of a building, starting a lab upgrade, starting a hero, a pet upgrade, or just donating or requesting for a clan card troop. So it is super easy. As well, you can do multiple things of the same kind just to progress through the pass. So for example, if you're not attacking as much, so you won't win a battle or you won't destroy a town, for example, you can just keep upgrading buildings, and with that, you're just doing that. So for example, I will upgrade this right here. We're having that in our bar at the bottom side. We can do that again. So let's upgrade another building. We can see it again. It is down there. So you can do those tasks multiple times of the same kind if you want to. You could as well try to challenge yourself, I guess, and do different challenges. It is totally up to you. It is super easy to progress now. The only downside of this entire system is you only get one of those season task cards per day. Don't worry, they won't go away or anything. Let's do an example. If you are an active player and you're doing the first 5 days of the new Gold Pass or the new pass in general, the progression is the same. It doesn't matter if you have the Gold Pass or the free-to-play pass, so the Silver Pass. So you're playing for 5 days. Every single day, you're getting those season task cards and you're completing them, which means at day number 5, you have completed 5 different cards, and that's it. Now, someone who has skipped the first 5 days will still be able to have 5 of those cards. They're stacking up. They're not going to go away or anything. So people who are skipping a day or something won't have any issue. You can catch up within seconds because, as I said, those tasks are super easy. This, in my opinion, at the same time, though, is the biggest downside of the new rework progression because it makes it really slow. You can only get 110 points per day. At the end of the season, you will have multipliers, but still, otherwise, the progression is quite slow. That is the only downside, though, and this is why the price is staying the same. So the pass should stay at the same cost because everything else is literally a bonus and is better for the players. Because let's just go through this again. Because now you can actually have more individual rewards. For example, you can now pick between different rewards. For example, with the skin, you can pick the new Gold Pass skin or an old one coming back and make it your choice. But if you're now saying, I don't care about the skins, well, don't worry. This is the same thing for some of the magic items. You're saying, hey, I need gold, pick the Rune of Gold. You need elixir? Don't worry, that works now as well. Which means the rewards are overall really nice and you can pick them based on your needs. You can go for a Book of Fighting, Book of Spells. Most people don't really usually need Book of Spells, so, well, now you can just go for the Book of Fighting and you do not have a useless Book of Spells, which you don't even use anyways because we don't even have that many spells in the game to upgrade. The same thing, obviously, on the Silver Pass track. We have the Resource Potion and the Pet Potion where you can pick from, or the different resources, but it is mostly now for the Silver Pass side that we have now chests in the game. The reason for this is that this type of reward is more scalable. As well, it seems like that random rewards are well better received by the masses, which now might sound crazy, but let me explain. Brawl Stars is always doing a podcast where they're sharing a lot of insights, a lot of data, which is super interesting. I can just recommend that to listen, to give it a listen. And something which I did not know because I would have always said, hey, I want to know what my reward looks like because this is just how it's supposed to be, right? Well, they have tried that. They have tried to go away from their random progression and the player numbers just dropped. They have re-added the randomness, and the players' numbers went up again. So it just seems like that the masses really like this randomness, like this adrenaline, I guess. They have the chance of getting ores from those chests. They have the chance of getting pretty much just nothing, I guess. But hey, so this is really what apparently the masses want. So overall, a really smart move, I would say, for the game itself. The good news as well is that they're not putting those on the paid track because Supercell said in the beginning they won't sell chests, and they're staying so far with this statement, which I like a lot. Again, you can see a lot of different rewards here. Now, let's talk about one more improvement for the rewards itself. Something like the gold runes, you have now with magic items the option of either collecting it into your storage or selling it from this overview, or now the last option, using it from the gold pass right away. Which means if you have already runes in general already stacked up and you don't have any more capacity, so far you could not stack them. Now you can just literally use the magic item from the gold pass, which is a massive improvement and pretty much means the gold pass is just another storage for your magic items. So that is a really a big improvement, and I'm kind of surprised that they didn't like increase the price for that or anything like that. But that is a huge deal. That is a huge improvement for those type of rewards, because if it's now, especially for like hammers or something, whereas one, for example, here, being able to use the hammer from this menu pretty much is kind of crazy. So that is a huge improvement, as I just said. Again, with having the downside of this slower progression throughout the pass. But let's move on. Next one is the Hoggy Bank. I don't know what Supercell has with those hogs, but hey, we have this already, I think it's as well a hog bank or something in Brawl Stars, right? But whatever. This has now as well received a little bit of a rework as well. So far, you were able to unlock over the entire pass multiple upgrades of the capacity, which means you could in the beginning collect 5 million, then 10, 15, 20, whatever. Now, it is always going to stay at this number. The number, though, is going to be tied to your town hall. So you will have a higher Hoggy Bank on a higher town level to make it scale with the rewards. But the 8 million for a town hall 18, for example, they will stay over the entire season. So you could fill up this Hoggy Bank on the first day if you want to. Now you're saying iTzu, but 8 million is just way worse. Before that, we had 30 million golden elixir and 300,000 dark elixir, right? Like this was way better. Well, here's the clutch and the nice improvement. Over the gold pass, you're going to actually collect multipliers. So for example, one of the last ones is actually a multiplier of 5, which means with collecting this, you have now the Hoggy Bank as a payout, you're getting 5 times the rewards, which actually is an improvement. Instead of having 30 million, now we're going to get 40 million gold and elixir. The same for the dark elixir. So far we had 300,000, now it is 400,000. So overall, a really big improvement as well. You have the nice opening animation and such now. But yeah, this is another change for the Hoggy Bank. So another improvement yet again. Now let's talk about the perks. And with that, we're as well coming then to the Prospector, which is the new helper. But before then, we have one more improvement here with the pass perks, and that is the gems, or like the gem perk, which means if you want to 1 gem donate to someone else, you can still do that. But now you can as well 1 gem donate to yourself, which means if no one else is online, you can now donate to yourself with gems, just with a 1 gem donation, which is as well a nice improvement. It's not as crazy as, for example, with the using the magic items right away from your overview, but still, it's a nice touch. Now, the next thing is the Prospector. And there's some downsides in my opinion as well, but we're going to get to that in just a second. First off, you're going to collect them really late in the pass, which means around day number 20 of the season, which is really late. Let's collect him anyways, and let's just see how he works. So he's just a regular helper, it's an extra helper. So if we now go towards like right here, we can see that we can exchange ores. We can like just scale them up as we want, but as well get starry ores, up to 2 starry ores. Again, you can do this every 23 hours. So you could get pretty much 2 starry ore per day. That's kind of how it works. You can go for purple ore, obviously. This doesn't really make any sense, right? But again, you can just like exchange those as you want. and as what you pretty much need. Now, why this feature being great, and don't get me wrong, I think it's a really cool thing having this helper, I have a problem with this. And that is where it is located. Because everyone who is currently already paying things in the game, which means like buying offers and such, especially after recently Supercell started to, thank goodness, improve their offers again and not making it as shit anymore. Because we had recently a lot of offers of like some good items, like some books or something, and then there was there were some random wall rings in there, like, and that put up the price like multiple, like it doubled the price or something, which was completely stupid. So Supercell has finally realized no one wants wall rings or resources or something. Instead, now they're selling books with ore, and those offers actually have a pretty decent value. So overall, they have improved that quite a lot, and those people who are paying, they should not have too many ore issues. So putting now this feature in the Gold Pass for those who are paying is kinda weird, not gonna lie. Because I feel like the biggest issue right now for ore is for those who are either returning, which is just awful, or for those who are completely free to play. So, yeah, it's a little bit strange. But hey, I would have just liked to see this guy as a regular helper. That would have been nice. But overall, as well, something Supercell has said is, please provide feedback. They want to improve the Gold Pass with everyone together. They want to listen to feedback and such. And I think they have already done many cool things. Giving people choices. Making sure you can use magic items outside of, like you can activate the magic items inside the Gold Pass right away and such. Those are already massive improvements, that is for sure. But as well, there are some questionable things in there. But again, as I said, Supercell will listen to feedback, see what the community thinks, and then adapt if anything is needed. With that being said, if you share any feedback, please make sure that you're not just saying, hey, everything is shit, and that's it. Try to say, hey, I dislike or like this specific thing, this is the reason for it, and this is maybe what I would change if I dislike something. That is a way on how Supercell can actually fix things and how Supercell can actually react to your feedback, and which is then way more helpful for them to actually engage with the issues of the community and with the feedback, if positive or negative. And yeah, so pretty much let me know what you think about all of those changes. I think there are quite some nice changes in there. The only downside, in my opinion, so far, which I have with this entire thing, besides the fact that the prospector should be a regular helper, is just the season task that is really slow. But at the same time, I can understand that Supercell wants to control more how quickly people can progress. But I guess you cannot have everything, right? So yeah, that's pretty much my point of view so far from this entire change. Let me know what you think. As I said earlier, the price is going to stay the same. And we're going to have this type of pass starting with March. So starting with the next Gold Pass and with the next Silver Pass rotation. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching as always. I wish you guys back tomorrow with the next class video. Oh, one thing I nearly forgot. Sorry. The Prospector, by the way, is for town level 10 and above. That's really important. So the Prospector is for town level 10 and above. Every non-Town Hall 10 player, or like below that, is going to have some other magic items in place instead. But you will have it only for Town Hall 10 and above. Nearly forgot about that. I'm sorry. So I hope everything else is now mentioned. As always, thank you so much for watching the video. I wish you guys back tomorrow with next class video. Until then, see ya, and bye-bye.